Ooh, Animal Crossing vibes. Oh, hello, hello. There we go. All right, mouse is working. We're live. We're here. It's been a couple weeks, fam. Has it not? It's been a second. It's weird to be back. It's nice. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, but we're not here to be stressed out. We're here to chill out and relax and vibe out to some Animal Crossing with some anatomy and hopefully not break our brains hating life. So anyway, hello, welcome to the Crystal Library. If this is your first time here, I do a lot of anatomy here as well as, vibe out and chill and do what you do on a Sunday. But we're basically here to get all of the hard work done so our art can be better and practice all that good stuff. So we do all of the gross, gritty, get your hands wet and figure all that stuff out. Do your homework in here so we can have a wonderful time for the rest of the week doing whatever the heck it is that we do. And we're still sharpening those skills and those muscles. Speaking of muscles, we're doing obliques today, part 2. Last week was all about rough gestures, getting our hands kind of messy and figuring it out. But today is invention. So, Skelly! I should mention as well, if this is also your first time here, I am following the Proko course for this anatomy journey. I've done basically everything in the Proko lesson up till now, and I'm revisiting all of it because I forgot half of it. So it's a much needed refresher for me, as well as probably some extra little details that I didn't pick up the first time because now I know what the whole body looks like. I've gone all the way through it, and I'm so excited to figure out all of the missing pieces I missed last time. So if I can make your anatomy journey a little bit easier with 3D models, extra looking at muscles through a big old software that I have, and just advice from a friend who's already taken the course and hopefully can make you have an easier journey with it, because navigating anatomy by yourself is really hard. So let's hopefully have an easier time with it and chill and just enjoy the journey. So let's see. I don't know why I just realized this is so big. But I don't know if I can fix it. Let's see. Can I do this? Ah, there we go. Now you can read all of it. There we go. Okay, that makes my OCD a little bit happier. It's still hanging off the side, but it's gonna have to do. Alrighty. So anyway, without further ado, I guess let me know off the bat how audio sounds, if things are really loud, if music is overpowering me. How do we sound? Because otherwise I will not know for the entire stream, and then we'll just be drawing to really loud music or silence. So anyway, today is oblique day, and as I mentioned, this is a revisit. We're looking at these muscles again. So this is my first attempt with the Proko course, and each one, I feel like I kind of got a good hang of it. I feel like I kind of understood most of the assignment. Mostly! 60-40. So, if anything, what I wanted to do today is not a one-to-one revisit of this lesson, because that would be boring and probably less helpful to you. What I thought we could do, although this one probably could be a little bit cleaner, but I got plans for today. So again, looking at these 3, I think I'm going to leave them as they are, but what I would like to offer you guys is, for this revisit, I basically picked 3 new poses that we can draw from. So, easy mode, intermediate mode, and hard mode. So, I basically made the poses from Proko Skelly app, unsponsored. I just love that man, and I think everything he does is swell. But you can buy the Proko app for like $3 or $4, I forget how much it costs, but it's basically a posable skeleton that you can make, and it's really helpful. But if you don't really know what the muscles going on top are, then it makes it a bit more of a challenge. So that's why we do these homework assignments, so we can take, the 3D mannequins that we can move around and torque in space, but actually put flesh on them and make them look more realistic, or stylistic, depending on what you want to go for. So these are poses that I made, and you can download them right now in my description. So if you scroll down, you can grab these poses right now, because we're gonna draw and trace over them today. So it's not necessarily a gesture, it's more like a tracing, because we're gonna go in the weeds. We want to be exact today. Where does it originate from? Exactly from what rib to what insertion and origin point are we looking at? That's the whole point of these studies, where we can be as accurate as possible. So when we go back to gesture, we just have more information and knowledge. It just makes it so much easier. It's so much fun. I love this stuff. I'm really excited because I've been swamped. This is literally the only day I give myself time to draw. I have been going all over the world. I won't lie, your girl is tired. But again, we're here to have a good time and chill out. So this is self-organized and structured drawing time for me. So I hope you enjoy this lesson, and if anything, do the homework with us, because it's not just a learning lesson for me to revisit. It's only helpful if you do it yourself. So anyway, rambling aside, if you have any questions, there's a bunch of stuff, there's a bunch of links, there's a lot of things that can help you notes-wise, information-wise, all that junk. But beyond that, if you have questions, ask me now, because the second I start drawing, I get very quiet and very boring. So I thought before we jump in, let's take a look at the actual muscles we're talking about, because it probably is really, really hard to draw muscles if you don't know what they are. So this is an app I like called Complete Anatomy by, I think, a company named Elsevier. I always forget. Elsever. Elsevier. Complete Anatomy. It's not cheap. It's not free. It is costly. That's why I use it, so we can learn it together. Yeah, it costs a pretty penny to get this software, so ask me questions while I have it. So yeah, we're looking at the external and internal obliques today. On the surface, we just see this guy, but if we hide him, there's some more junk under there. Your obliques are so cool! I love these muscles! I'm gonna say this right now. I mentioned it last time, but the obliques are my favorite part of the body, period. Because they make you do the coolest stuff. They make you twist, they make you rotate, they make you torque in space, and basically the core is the most important part of your body to keep you functioning, but these just make you look cooler. This is where all of our love handles and muffin tops kind of sit and stuff, so the squash and stretch is where I have the most fun with the body. So when you are drawing very dynamic poses, this muscle is all of that. The bread and butter of the coolest poses out there. I mean, look at this. Obliques. I mean, yes, leg, and yes, hand, but obliques. Sorry, I get excited about this stuff. So anyway, just to give you a rundown, I strongly recommend go watch the Proko lesson before we actually do said lesson in here. Go watch it real quick. It's on YouTube for free. A short, truncated version is on YouTube, and then come back in here and we do the homework together. But we watched it last time, so I'm going to just breeze right past it. But all you need to know, if I stop hiding this, it starts at the 5th rib. Let's see. This is your clavicle. That does not count. Ooh, where's my pen? There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Comes down all the way to your 5th rib, and it's the last 8 ribs of your body that all of that is. It's kind of hard to see when it's not isolated all by itself. Let me see. Can I do that? Oh God, everything's gone. Well, hang on. I think you get the idea. There's a beautiful 3D model on Proko's premium website that I cannot show you that shows the obliques perfectly. But again, I'm not trying to replace Proko. I am not discount Proko. I am just another student who geeks out about this junk a lot more than I should, and I basically made it as easy as possible to get the same amount of bang for your buck at a cheaper price. And if you can, get some feedback, because a lot of Proko's stuff used to be available on the Facebook page and all of that, and sadly, because they're so much bigger now than they used to be, that feedback is a little bit harder to get. So if you have questions, if you want to open the discussion to Discord, I have one in the links. You can type !Discord to get in that stuff. I hate dropping links. I suck at plugging. But point is, if you want help, this is why I'm here. My entire mission in life is to make your journey easier through the anatomy train. And everything I learn it here. So I'm planning to learn animal anatomy. I'm planning to learn a lot of 3D models as well, 3D software, to hopefully make something like this. I would love to just be able to build stuff in ZBrush like this. Ooh, yeah. And it'll all live here. So anyway, I'm your accountability buddy to hopefully make your journey a little bit easier. Excuse me, Chipotle. Okay. But beyond that, external obliques for the most part, all you need to know is that they twist, they go forward, and they make your rib cage get closer to your pelvis. They shrink. That's mostly what your abs do, but your obliques help. They assist. And internal obliques, if I hide this, nope, there it is. The guy on the inside is basically the antagonist. Those muscle fibers go in the opposite direction, literally like they cross. So if the external obliques go this way, as you can see, the internal obliques go this way. They literally are protagonist and antagonist to each other, so they help counteract. So when you're twisting one way, your external obliques are going one way, you feel the pinch. The internal obliques are the ones stretching, going the opposite direction to stretch you around. So still important to know, even if you can't see them, they add bulk and girth closer to the hip. A little bit more love handle and fat would sit here because of that. So beyond that, I think most of what Proko explains is better than me. I'm not a teacher. Again, I'm not a teacher. I'm just another student. I'm gonna possibly get things wrong. Go fact check with him over there and then come yell at me that I said something wrong. But as far as I'm aware, this is basically the love handle area, where most fat collects for women, and all of the girth on men collects. So the most important thing you really need to know is the pelvis line is basically your biggest landmark when you're drawing the obliques. How you find the pelvis is by looking at the obliques. No matter how much girth or lack of girth a human has, we all have that bony landmark. It might just be a little more hidden for some people, but there is a very noticeable shift in that part of the body, which is why the ACES points are so helpful to look at. So anyway, this model doesn't really show it as well, not justice-wise, but you can kind of see that little overlap of hip. There's a little bit of an overlap when you're looking at your obliques. They don't one-to-one sit on the pelvis. There's a little bit of an overlap, and I'll show that when we get to it. But anyway, I think that's all I can say for now. We're just inventing obliques. Abs, of course, are attached to the obliques by an aponeurosis tendon, and they go all the way down to your junk, the pubic symphysis. So we're not putting genitals on Skelly today, obviously, but just know that that's basically where they end. They end at the junk. So usually covered by underwear or boxers, but that's the whole entire point. So starting up here at the top fifth rib, all the way down, they start rather horizontal, not completely horizontal, but they gradually shift to get more and more diagonal as they get closer to the bottom, and by the base they're basically vertical. Not quite, but nearly vertical. All the way down to the pubic symphysis. And then lastly, your internal obliques go the opposite direction, same thing, from the floating ribs in the back to your sternum in the front of the rib cage. Okay? That's all the information I got. Go check all those notes I made in the Patreon if you want more. Okay, so enough of that. If you have questions, though, feel free to stop me and ask them. Don't hesitate to ask me just because I'm drawing. I just may not be able to respond immediately, and I'll as respond as I can. Alrighty? So without further ado, we're going to do all three of these, and I'm going to try my best to fly through them. I'm going to time myself. That's what you see down here, this timer. I'm going to set myself for 10 minutes to do each one. Because again, we're not doing a full gesture. It'll take us a lot less time to get the muscles in. So hopefully combined, it'll be a 30 to 35 minute session with breathing time in between. You'll see. So you can kind of just already guess where obliques go, but the whole fun part about putting them on the skeleton is so we can be accurate and understand that squash and stretch. So there's obviously going to be a pinch in this one and a little more stretch on this one. Same thing here, but now we're looking at a bit more of a back angle, and then all of this. That's the whole point of the obliques, is can you master that squash and stretch? find the muscles and then accentuate certain areas for more dynamic energy with the fat sitting on it. Because we all have a little fat that collects there, no matter how ripped you are. There's some level of fat somewhere. Unless you're a complete stick, there's the lipids got to go somewhere. Okay, I'm gonna take a bite of Chipotle for luck. Okay. So anyway, here's what we did last week. Gesture. We did a whole warm-up. We got 5-minute girthy lady, 15-minute really interesting structure man. You can go see the pictures in the previous lesson. And then lastly, the 25-minute lady that I showed you. So this won't be freehand gesture. This is going to be a tracing. We're going to go right over the picture. Again, you are welcome to download these pictures yourself and completely do what we're doing together. So, links in the description. But without further ado, I'm going to make another layer for this. My mouse is like not great. Keeps dying midway through. Okay. Revisit! New pictures! Self-made. The ones that were previous that you saw were pictures he gives you for the homework. These are mine! So you're welcome to steal them. They're on Google Drive. Go get them. Okay. Alrighty. Unless there are any questions off the bat, I'm gonna start when this timer goes off. So you have about 15 seconds to ask me questions before I click play. While I get situated, we're gonna jump right in because I don't want to waste time. The second I start drawing, and I won't be able to talk very much. And I have a timer. My children get hungry at 5 o'clock. So it's about 3:30 now. Kitties are probably gonna get hangry very soon. Let's see. I'm also set a timestamp for where we are. Let's see. We start drawing at about 17:17. Cool. I'm gonna say 20. No, we're good. Yay! Okay, there we go. All right. Skelly, start! Yay! Oh no. Okay, let's adjust that. 17:45. Cool. Okay. Yay! Alrighty. Here we go. Let me make sure my pen's correct. Let me make sure the color I choose is correct. Because I want to be able to see it. Put it on multiply. Let's do that. Yeah, cool. Okie dokie. Here we go, friends. If you have questions, ask me anytime. They just may not get answered until after this session. So here we go. I'm going to start recording my stream. And go! You'll hear a timer go off in about 10 seconds. Now is the time. If you want to join me, here we go. In about 3, 2, 1. 10 minutes. Okay, first of all, I want to get that squash and stretch right out the gate. So we did the bean last week to really nail down that idea. So let's make a bean. And right off the bat, can you see that pinch? Let's accentuate that. There might be a little bit more, depending on the kind of body type we're looking at, a little more lean. So there's going to be a little pinch from this rib cage. It's not going to be 100% that, unless they're a little more girthy. But I might add a little bit more there. And that looks, you know, maybe we're drawing a lady. This is a very feminine pose. Okay, so now I'm gonna have my gesture. Let's actually put in some specific muscles. So let's see. This'll do. All right, where do we start? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5! 5th rib. Yahoo, right there. And I believe, let me look at my notes, because I'm correcting myself in real time. I'm not positive, but they start at an angle and they kind of curve out like that. So they don't quite sit about there. Yeah, they sit. There's a slope, a natural slope that goes all the way to the back of the rib cage. So it'd be like, yeah, about there. they would go all the way to the back of the rib cage to sit on that floating rib. Cool, cool, cool. So now, let's see. They also follow this rib all the way down. Let's see, about there. Yeah. And then, again, I'm following a picture that you have access to in the notes if you want to go grab them in the Patreon for only $5. I gotta shoot my shot, sorry. Okay, for the most part, you get like this beautiful U shape for your tendon, but sitting underneath that, the abs specifically have like this zigzag kind of going on. If I want to get abs in as well, they sit right on top of the sternum, like that. I just want to be extra specific with where they start, because that part always messed me up. And now we have abs sitting underneath that. Cool. Abs also are part of your torso. Your abs are the biggest part of your torso, so they are going to be part of this picture. They swoop down and get narrower as they get lower. So where's my midpoint? Let's find that. Follow the spine. Literally right there. This is where they end. So now we just connect the dots. Beautiful. Still looking like a good torso. It's pretty good. Alrighty. I might turn this up a little bit. Now, let's find the fibers, the muscle fibers. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I believe after the 4th rib, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes. They start to turn into flank fat, which is just this giant congealed form of oblique. It doesn't stay separated, they kind of morph into like one shape. And then the tendon would just sit back there. Cool. You would see a big old pinch because they're coming from the back, sitting on top of that pelvic crest, tracing a line all the way down to get to the pubic symphysis. Cool. Now, give me this guy. Starts back there. Softens as it gets closer to the front. And then comes in to make that gorgeous curve. Shape it. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. And if I really wanted to, I could bulge this out a little bit more to add that separation of flank fat and obliques, because they start curving like that. That looks right from here. Okie dokie. Again, you're welcome to correct me. I'm not perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. Let's see. Start a little more horizontal than that. Boom, boom, boom. And now they kind of just morph. It's beautiful. Striations are not as obvious as you get near the bottom. All of this is aponeurosis that starts to soften this torso. And if we're adding abs, let's see. Let's go for a muscular lady. This is ideally the shape they could be if we follow that center line. They get less and less angled. But you're welcome to have fun and play with how they look. The abs are usually all over the place. And then there could be something there. Usually 6-pack, and it's very rare you might find a 10-pack on somebody. They gotta be extremely ripped. Cool. That's looking pretty good. That's looking pretty decent. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. Okay. My voice is going already. Gosh. Let's darken some of this so we can actually see what we're looking at. I'm gonna hide this now and go back in with finer details, and we can color everything in. Hopefully this is making sense, and of course, if it's not, that's why we have questions, so you can ask me them. But if I'm making a mistake, you are welcome to also yell at me and tell me how wrong I am about something, because I do make mistakes. Often. Okay. I'm gonna assume this is a very female-centric figure, so I might actually accentuate parts of the abs that are more feminine. Ebo! Welcome! Hey, 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 hey! I got 3 minutes, but I'm here for a second. Let's make a violin shape. I will say, for the ladies, you get a little bit more girth near the bottom and higher at the top, so you can kind of play with that when you're making abs for ladies. You might get a little separation of fat there, but it's usually very rare. There we go. Okay. But how you doing, bro, Seth? If you want to take these pictures that I'm drawing on, you can totally download them in the description right now. Down to drown. If you're down to clown, you're down to clown. If you're down to draw with me, you're welcome. Okay. Last but not least, I'm gonna get a color, and I'm gonna make it a little bit easier for us to see what we're looking at. So, this is all aponeurosis. Tendon. A little bit brighter. In fact, no, this is tendon color. There we go. I'll explain more as I go, but for now, there's my tendon, and then the big old muscles that we're actually looking at sitting on top. There they are. Nice, 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 nice. This is actually really chill. 10 minutes is too much time. I should be more stressed. 10 minutes was way too easy. No, I don't want to stress myself out today. It's too nice of a day. Okay, there we go. And if you want to add a little bit more something something, sometimes you might see a little bit of a little circle point here of internal oblique pinchy pinchy. I'll make some notes about that coming forward, but I can't see what you said right this second, Evo, but I'm gonna look in about a couple minutes. Less than a couple minutes. Tendon's gonna pop out right there. Okay, so now I want to go back in and add a little core shadow. Give me a black. Alrighty. Where's my light source? It's coming from like top down. So like a core shadow meow. Excuse me. 1 minute for shadow. Can we do it? We totally can. I have absolute faith. There's 1. There's 2. We could possibly add a little shadow to the abs here. A little bit. Oh my god, un momento. No. A little bit of shadow there. And then a big old shadow right there. Most of this is soft pouch. Each of these would have a little bit of shadow. Yep, yep. Leave a little room underneath for reflected light. Never played that game, so Link's Awakening was Windfish. Is it any good? Alright, let's check our work. How we doing? That looks like abs. Yeah! That looks like abs. I'll take that. Okay, I have a little extra time. I might actually make a little softer cast shadow underneath this. No. 5. Sound effects are always welcome. Oh, I'm overzealous. 10 seconds. Can we do it? Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, I'm bleeding into my break. How dare I? I'm a monster. Okay, there we go. Hey, I'm not happy. I'm pretty happy with that. How's it going, Ebo? You're gonna be recording a cover? Please enjoy. Don't worry about it. I like how you spelled obliques, though. Are you singing? I am so excited to hear it if you decide to record it. Play it for me when we come back. For the one in miscellaneous time I see you that I can't say out loud. Welcome, welcome. Thanks. I think it's all right. That feels pretty good. So again, these are a gesture, a very quick. We're basically doing invention. We're inventing muscles. Yes, I know, very sassy slay. So I might clean this up real quick. We're not gonna jump right into the next one because I just want to talk for a second about what we did, take a look and see if there's anything that could be cleaned up before we hit the next one. But yeah, ideally 2 minutes to space out our time. So I'm pretty happy with this, I'd say. First time coming back after a couple of weeks. Yeah. It's very sassy. I think so. And yeah, I think that's our first set of obliques. Not bad. Not bad at all. So again, pinchy pinchy. Focus on this big old curve. I could probably accentuate this even more with even more attention drawn to it. A lot of fat collects in the pockets, so really, really have fun selling that. A cast shadow would probably be right there. Taking it to the back. And now let's look. Oh yeah. Draw your attention right to that. Can't miss it. Hip is out! Okay. Save that goodness. I feel pretty decent about that. So, for now... No! Don't start. It's gonna be 10 minutes. No, I don't want that. Maybe in the next session. I'll do that for the next session. Where is my timer, actually? Well, you're gonna see the time jump. It's gonna freak you out. There it is. Okay. One more for cushion. Alrighty. I basically have this picture, this video in picture mode, and it's sitting on my bottom corner. Okay, so that was round one. Pretty good, right? I hope we all tried something to do with it, and if you aren't able to draw at this moment, of course, no problem. Come back and, I would hope, do this with me. You can watch for sure the first time, but the second or third time, if you are able to, and you are willing to draw and grow and really want to improve your work, don't just watch me. Come on in and do this with me, because that is how we grow. No judgment whatsoever. And of course, if you want feedback, I'm happy to look at your work in between streams. Let me know, all right? So that's the first one. That was easy mode. Here's hard mode. Well, no. Second one's gonna be this. There we go. So same kind of idea, but now we're not just laterally tilting. We're literally rotating, which is what activates the obliques in the first place. They love rotation. That's what they're for. Their function is adduction to the abs and rotation, and a little bit of extension if you are doing tilty things. But basically, they love movement. So if you tilt, if you rotate, or if you use your abs in any way you crunch, you're using your obliques. So this basically, I wanted to use this pose because it's going to give us a chance to see where they connect in the back. Because most of the time when you're drawing a torso, you just look at the front. You don't really care about the back, but they still connect back there. If we look, they go all the way back here. So we need to know where they end up. But yes, there's a natural curve. They come from the fifth rib. Serratus is meeting us right here. That's what those little digits are. And they go all the way to the back. But if you look, most of that stuff is covered by pec and lat. So you don't really need to know a whole lot, but you can kind of see that natural slope. The lat actually follows that curve a little bit. It's covered by this arm. I can't move his arm, unfortunately. But there's lat in order of what you're seeing from this slope. Latissimus dorsi, your horse muscle, the big old thing in the back. I forget exactly what they do, but they're very important. I can't wait to get to the back. I have so many more holes in my memory about the back. I forgot everything about the back. But the front I got, for the most part. Then your serratus happens right here. There's a little bit more pokey happening out here, and then right next to it, it meets the obliques. So obliques go all the way from here to the back. And underneath all of that is your internal obliques sitting in this pocket, right in between. So don't forget about those guys because they add some more juice, some more love on those handles. Yeah? So let's see. For this pose, let's say they start right here and they wrap all the way up there to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th rib. Basically the bottom 8 ribs is all you really care about for most of anatomy. The 5th ribs are usually covered, the first 5 ribs are usually covered by pec, but they still are important to know where they are. But yeah, 5th rib is big old landmark guy. That part is where a lot of things happen. Okay, so yeah. And last time I'll say it, if you want these pictures, you can go get them in the description. Alrighty? Free on Google Drive. Okay, so now what we can do is really attack this pinchy right here. There's not a way to do it. I was going to say if I could rotate the full model, I could show you what the other side looks like, but I can't show you my phone, sadly. Sorry. So anyway, second round, let's see if we do any better. We're going to try this one, and then we'll move on. Another 10 minutes. I'm going to really quickly stand up and stretch and reset my eyeballs for a second. So what I'm going to do A breaking pose? Oh yeah, it's coming, it's coming. You can see it down there. I know you got excited. We can draw you next. What a curve. You're funny, Evo. Okay, I'm gonna set this timer back to 2 minutes, and I'm gonna be back before that happens. So I'm resetting my eyes, my free jewels, my ojos, my ojos. I'll be right back. By the time this timer goes off the second time, we'll begin. But again, take this time to either observe or come back and do it with me. One minute. Alrighty. We're back. I'm here. I'm hizity. Alright. Oof. Second time. Here we go. Let's prep our layers. Oh god. I just realized these are not organized. No. One. There we go. Easy. Let's get ready for second round. Let's get ready to rumble. 2. All right. I'm gonna set these all to like 100, and then just set the overall layer. There we go. Yeah. Save that goodness. Lock it down because I don't trust myself. I'll draw on it and by accident and be so mad. I'm recording. Cool. Brush. Oh god, we're here. Okay, bye! I gotta go! Scared me. I need to sip. Okay. Right off the bat. Oh boy, look at that curve. As Evo said, line of action, ahoy! Wow! So, let's capture that. So let's get that beautiful curve. All of this would connect to the front of the pelvis. You might see a little poke out there. And then most of this would curve back in. You might see a little swoopy out. There might be a little bit of butt hanging out here, but we're not looking at that. Just know that there would be a little bit of girth. So I'm going to actually find out where the end of my bean would be. There's potential butt, and then the front of it is this big old goose egg. So let's look at that. Yeah! And then I don't think I captured this part of the ribcage in that, so let's get that in there. I do love tracings because you don't have to worry about perspective, it's all in there for you. Oh, it's so much easier. Okay, so let's get that natural curve. Beautiful. And then find the base. There we go. Let's see. That looks pretty decent. My spine is gonna show me where the back midline is. Swoops all the way down. Actually, nope, ribcage is right here. The inside of this is right here. Yeah. There we go. I seen you. My beautiful triangle of Venus. Beautiful. And then pelvis right there. All of this, pelvis. Can't miss it. Cool. Bucket. And then from the tailbone, butt crack. There's your butt. But we're not doing that. I just wanted to let you know where it is. Cool. Okay, so let's take a look. Can you see the planes of where we're at? Can you find the front, side, and back plane of your ribcage and pelvis? That is the most important part. So let me see. Here's the base of my ribcage. Here is, let's see, the front of my ribcage is about there. Swoops back in. This is the front plane. I'm basically tracing the blue cartilage. That's what this line is indicating. That's the front plane. From there, clavicles and the pit of the neck would indicate front plane. Box of the neck gets a little wider in the back. And then this is not a ribcage session, but still want to know where everything is. Alrighty, let's see. That looks like a ribcage. Cool. I'm gonna make this circle a little bit more obvious. My voice is already going from how excited I am. Cool. There's our bones. Speeding this up because we already have them right in front of us. We don't have to use X-ray vision, so we're just gonna move on. Cool. Next up, Mooskull. Give me another layer. Set this to multiply. Actually, I'm gonna put this whole thing on multiply. Ooh, that's so much better, baby. Uh-huh. Excuse me. Okay. So right off the bat, your obliques, they start at the what rib? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only know how to count to 3 in French. Where are my notes? I lost my notes. They're right at the start of the sternum. Yeah. So they start right about, let's see, here. And then they gradually kind of creep out and would start curving about there. So find that line. That's where I'm gonna start tracing my obliques. Same for the other side. Where is my 5th rib over there? There it is. Yep. Cool. Alrighty. Now, I want to find my abs. My abs are gonna go all the way down to the pelvis, even though I can't see the front of it. Know that there is a bottom plane that's sitting somewhere right here. I'm guessing by just counting like a block and a half down. About a third down is where the base of my pelvis is. So if my abs start up here, they're going to start curving to get to my pelvic symphysis somewhere in here. My center line is about there. Yeah. Again, I want you to think of it like a ribbon twisting. There we go. There's my abs. It would be kind of like that. Yeah, front plane of my abs. Something like that. See that? Okay. I'm not really making sense of this yet. It's not really reading as obliques, but we'll get there. Okay, start somewhat horizontal, angle out from there. And by the 4th rib, you get flank fat. So all of this starts to become flank fat. So here's what I really wanted to do with this lesson. This is where the tip of the pelvis is. Right on top of that is oblique. All the way out here, because it has to connect back to your ribs. So it would swoop out, come back in, and sit about, let's see. Did I get all those ribs? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, about there. About there. Yeah. That's not a smooth curve. I want an S curve. Give me an S curve. Let's see. If this is where my last rib would come in, about here, all of this collects, would sweep underneath that beautiful hook and sit on top. That S curve is what I wanted. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, so there we go. Now I have some girth. They follow this line all the way around, give it a love handle to get to the other side. It would just be a little more stretched over there. So let's see. Looking at it now, there's a car honking. I hope that's not super egregiously loud. This would all be pinched because these muscles are contracting so much. They're so pinched right here. Yep. Alrighty. And then you would get the rest of them. Let's see. This isn't making sense to my brain. That doesn't quite look right. That looks right. I'm gonna say they all come back down here. So even lower than I had it. Because they gotta go to the bottom of the torso, the bottom of the rib cage. There we go. But they all kind of form one mass in the flank fat. So let's see. About there. Alrighty, I'm wasting time guessing. I'm pretty sure, but I'm not positive. So let's just start connecting the dots. Oh wait, they have to slope down. Yes. They meet the torso in the middle. Yes. Now, okay. Ooh, this is good practice for me because now I'm not sure. I'm looking at this and I'm like, technically, anatomically that's correct, but it doesn't look right. because it still has to connect to your abs a little bit. You might get a little overlap. I think that's what I'm missing. This is abs. This is oblique. There we go. It's not going to connect directly because it's going to hit the aponeurosis first. And then you get to this. So I think maybe. I might have to step back and fact check this. That doesn't quite look right to me. I'm not sure yet. But perspective-wise, I'm kind of close. Okay, there's my abs. Where's my midline? We found it already. Okay, maybe if I start coloring things, that'll make more sense. Because these lines are throwing me off. That's probably what it is. They're confusing me. The butterflies. They're confusing me. 5 gold coins to anybody who recognizes that reference. Okay. Where's my aponeurosis? This is on multiply still? Oh no. No. Stop. Yeah. Okay. Center of the aponeurosis. Red for Oblique Town. Okay. I don't know if that's correct. Sir or madam, that doesn't look right to me. Is that correct? I don't know. I don't know. I'll assess in a moment. Let's just step back. I mean, if we're looking at my anatomy, something bothers me about it and I don't quite know what. Well, I'm a guess there's a reason that they're called the obliques, because they go at a diagonal, and the stair-steppy thing where they interlock with the serratus, I missed that. So, in, no. No time! No! Maybe like that. Kind of. Thanks, Ebo! Have a good recording session, brother, no problem. We're actually about to do our last one, so it might be done early before you get back, but I hope you have a good time. Okay, excited to hear it. Okay, well, I don't know where I went wrong, but something don't quite feel right about these obliques. Angle is good. Perspective feels correct. It's just the origin and insertion points. Where they start and where they end up kind of feels weird. But just know that, at least if anything, the flank fat all kind of sits. Let's see. I'm gonna look at a 3D model real quick. Again, I can't show you, but I'm just troubleshooting in real time. Let's see. They end up in the back, and they go all the way down. Okay, I think it's because there's just so much, there's so much meat in the back. So you know what? I think I could even be more generous with this big old fat fold right here. This is where muscle would sit. However, if I'm really being accurate, there should be a generous amount of fat hanging low. Hanging way lower. Because it goes all the way to the back of the ribs right here, yeah? Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna give myself till the 2-minute break. Yeah. We didn't get to core shading and anything like that, but I think I just went too far with this one. They don't go all the way back there. They stop at the spine, where it's right about here. So no, I did. Oh, you know what? I think I see. I didn't trace this line as much as I could. This should go all the way, yeah, okay. This should go all the way back there. Which is it? Is it you? It's you. Okay. I think I see. I'm gonna get this right. I'm gonna take a little longer because I want to not perfect, no such thing, but find out exactly where I went wrong. This should all be one mass. Okay, Diska. Did my timer stop? It's supposed to still be counting. Oh well, enjoy the earthbound. If I can just get this curve! Hang on. Believe in me, chat. Ugh, there we go. That feels better. This is one shape. I feel a little bloated back there, but that's the point. Yeah. Okay, narrow this line to get a little more read. This all lines up, so this is what's messing with me. Wow. I'm not going to be as detailed as this one, the last one, but again, that was easy mode. Okay, I think that's good. Good old Chrono Trigger music. Okay. And I also didn't really find the abs, that little stair-steppy patch. But we're not going to take too long on that. I don't think that's right, but it's about there somewhere. Abs would be somewhere like that. Okay. I'm not really positive about this one. This is the slope that's messing with me. But if this is a lean person, the spot where ribs end would be a little bit more indented. We'd have a little bit less curve. It'd be more, yeah, there we go. That feels more accurate. If the person was a bit more girthy, yeah, then we'd have some belly overhang. I don't know if I like Skelly with a belly. I'm good though. Alright, that, I think we'll leave it there. I feel okay with that. Let me just clean up this edge real quick. They go in, out, in, out, in, out. Yeah. So we kind of, yeah, follow this angle. In, out, in. I'm on the wrong color. And the wrong layer. In. I just want to make sure I don't lead y'all astray. That's my main issue. I don't need to be perfect. I just want to make sure I'm not lying to you. Okay, there we go. And now I can erase away this part. Ah! Yeah. That looks better. Okay, that's somewhat less bothersome for my eyes. Okay, that makes me happier. Yay! Alrighty, I'll leave it there. Cool, cool, cool. No, I keep adding things. Yeah. There we go. I drew it on the wrong layer again. Dang it. That's fine. That's our core shadow now. Okay. Alright. I'm not mad at that. It definitely ain't my best, but I'm alright with that. For now, that's fine. Okay. Again, as long as you get the idea that the pinchiness would be like very accentuated. You know, that's one other thing I didn't quite add. You can really force some like overlap, like you might get a double curve that happens here and there. Oh my. Somebody got excited. There's a double curve that could happen here and there. And if I were to add a little bit of shadow, just to over accentuate that, now it can be more visible. So there we go. I just wanted to make that curve a little bit more noticeable because there's so much curvage that's happening in there. It deserves attention. They're all separate, but they kind of form one big old mass near the back. Yeah. Alrighty. Now let's looky there. Yeah, that feels a bit more believable. The pinchiness of bottom of the ribs would kind of meet all of this. Yeah. There we go. You might see a little bit of rib. So, as you can tell, I guess I tend to lean towards the leaner body types when drawing. I really need practice with other body types. It's really rough for me. But alright, that's enough for now. Let's move on to our last lesson, and then we'll call it. Timer, I guess, ended. I'm sorry. I thought it was going to stop on its own. It didn't do that. So here we go. Let's get ready to rumble. Last round. Final round. Why? Oh, that doesn't match anymore. Fun. And you know what? I'm gonna just move these into their own layer. Yeah. So that makes more sense. 2, You. Oh, it's Celeste time. This is gonna look really weird for a second, don't mind me. We're doing it live, we're doing it, and we're doing it well. Goodbye. Goodbye. We'll just make you your last layer by yourself. 3. Hard. Alright. Lock her down, hunker down. Wow. Okie dokie. 1 looks good, and then somewhere near 2 we kind of fell apart, but I think we still got the idea. What's going to happen with number 3? We have a much closer look at this picture now because it's a little bigger, so it's not going to be as hard to find bones. It's just rib cage is in the way. So this is going to be a fun one. Alrighty. Reset your eyes one more time. Look away from the screen. I'll be right back. I'll give you a minute to do that. It'll count you down when we're ready to go. Alright. 1 minute to reset your eyes. I need it. Okay. Oh, I hope you pet a dog, a kitty, another human. If no one lives with you, I hope you pet yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back, pat on the head. Okay. Less than 20 seconds to set up for our last gesture for the day. Not gesture, tracing, but you know what I mean. Here we go. Boom, baby. Where's my line of action? Yeah. Can't miss it. Alrighty. So let's pursue that, shall we? Do-do-do-do. Where's my bean? Let's find it. Booty would sit about there. Their leg is definitely activated. There'd be a lot of glute med action happening here. I can't wait to do this lesson again. This picture specifically again with legs as the focus might be fun. Okay, there's our bean. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, Bean Town. Get that gesture in there, baby. Okay, where's my middle town? Goodbye. I said goodbye. Goodbye. Okay, there we go. Midpoint. When I say midpoint, I'm looking at the middle of the rib cage from the sternum all the way to the base of the pelvis, right here. And then trace a line that feels in line with our torso gesture. And now we have a midpoint for our bean. Cool. Now we just connect the dots. Ribs. Find the side plane of our ribs. They might be a little more flared because we're doing a very extensive action here. My neck hole, clavicle. Some beautiful, beautiful action could be done here on the shoulders as well. I'm not going to do that today, but boy howdy. If we have time, I might just find everything else real quick and plop it in if we can. Because this is a gorgeous gesture to have fun with. Obviously they would be wearing underwear though. Hopefully. It's Judy from Street Fighter 5. Or Street Fighter in general. Okay. There we go. So now, let's find my abs. Let's find my abs. Not this one. This one. 1, 2. Wait, no, this is clavicle. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About somewhere near the middle of the side plane of my rib cage. Right? Right. And then it goes out like that. Yeah. Gradually more foreshortened as it gets closer to the back. Cool, cool, cool. Maybe a little more curve there. And then where's the other side? Can't even see it, but it would be there somewhere. Okay. There's a little bit of girth that would happen in here, but not as much as you think. This would probably be very stretched if they're a lean body type. If they're not a lean body type, they would just be hanging, but it probably would still have some meat kind of dangling because this is a very stretched pose. So I'm going with the idea that this is a person from Street Fighter. Cammy, maybe. I don't know. Cammy doesn't fight with her hands. Who knows? This is more a jury pose. Okay. From there, this is where all the action sits. So let's get in here. I think you can already kind of tell flank fat would be drooping real low about there. So there'd be a lot sitting near the back here. And then it would swoop around and trace that line of meat to the pelvic symphysis right here. Pubic symphysis, sorry. Okay. Abs. Start about at the tip of the ribs, right about there, to go all the way down to find that. Kind of in line with our bones and the curve that we set. Let's see that. Oh yeah. Alright. All of this is huge, huge, huge oblique. All of that is oblique. Beautiful. Some extra double curves can be happening here. Gradually receding as we get closer to the back. And again, have fun with the curves and what they look like. They don't have to necessarily make sense. That's what makes them more fun. Maybe a little split here. There we go. Some skin folds could be happening for sure here. Alrighty. Now, I'm not confident enough in my skill of hip and butt action, but I'm gonna guess if our tailbone is somewhere here, it would probably have a cheek there. And then ab would meet glute med. Oh gosh, this is not a glute med lesson. I want to do it so bad, but no, not today. Not today, not today, not today. I'll mess you up and I'll get banned. Censor me. Okay. From there, let's see. This is where my aponeurosis is. So this would all kind of... Ooh. Let's see. This is 5th rib, really? Feels too high. Hold on. I gotta make you a little bit brighter. I can't see. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait a minute. Oh, the last word is hidden. Kind of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm still getting here. Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Wait a minute. I'm so confused. There must be a floating rib I cannot see here. I don't know. It's foreshortened. But I got 5th rib here. This is clavicle. Is it not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna guess right here. Okay, I don't know. Okay, shrink again. Get lighter. There we go. Okay, I'm having fun. I'm messing around. Don't mind me. So if I were to trace this line to get to there, right there, right there. It sits right at the sternum, which is right here. Right? Where is my sternum? It's completely perfectly covered by an elbow. How nice. Okay, well, it has to still make sense with the rest of the picture. This is our connection points here. It's gonna have to make sense there. So I'm gonna guess this is where my sternum is. Somewhere right here. Follow this beam. There we go. There it is. Okay. So from there, yeah. Nope. Let's see. I always mess this up. There's a like patch of lily pad that it catches on, and then it So there we go. And now we get to. Let's see. Yeah. Follow the ribs. Follow the ribs. So I see. I started my abs too low. They would be a little higher. There we go. That's just another I see. The base of the rib cage is what I started. I see. Abs 1, 2, right there. 3. Belly button is usually about where the third pec or ab is, and then all that is girth. Okay. Now I'm cooking. Now we found everything. Now we just can detail. Aponeurosis. Yep. And then all of this is delicious flank fat. From here on down. You can embellish that a little more. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Alrighty. Yeah, that feels about right. Maybe a little bit more abdominal action happening here because we're like really hitting something. It could be a little more engaged there. Alright, one time, 1 minute. Let's get some color in here. That's my ab line. There we go. Color! Real quick. Yikers. Wah, 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 wah. Because color is going to immediately answer if anything looks off. Silhouette always tells you more information than contour. Alright. That's oblique. A little bit might be poking out there. And then my big old tendon of abs right here. Semilunaris softens the tendon a little bit on the edge. The basic curve that meets where your abs and obliques meet. The oblique meet. And then, 20 seconds for core shadow? Can I do it? Not really. I highly doubt it, but let's just get all of that. Boom. Yum. 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 No way, bro. I actually did it. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, what? Okay. Hey! I don't hate that. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. Name some obliques. Yeah. What happens after the obliques? I could not tell you. I did the legs lesson, I did the butt lesson, but it's real rusty. It's real rusty. I am not going to even touch that can of worms, not at all. But you know what? I feel good about that. Stop the recording. For once, I actually did it. Kind of. So let's see what we got. Here's the fun part. Time-lapse everything. Alrighty, so here's your reward for sitting through all of that hard work, and hopefully you got to do it with me. Here's where we started. Let's watch it all the way through. What'd I get? Alright, we're finding it. We're finding it. We got some pretty good abs there. I felt really good about that one. We had plenty of time to finalize things. 1 whole minute. We talked about abs for a second, we took a break, and then we got back in the game. Found our planes. Tried to be fancy with ribs and abs and got lost in the sauce. Kind of confused my brain and took way too long on this. Did I spend like an extra 10 minutes? Oh no, what's the point of timers if I didn't like use them? Not bad. Definitely not as good as the other set, but not bad. Probably not gonna be nearly as thick there. I think that's where my mistake went. This would be a little bit thinner as we slope down. So I might revise that real quick. And then after that, we got to this guy. This feels pretty decent. Got a little bit more information in there faster, so it wasn't nearly as dodgy finishing it. And that's not too bad. Okay. So one thing I want to revise that I just realized looking at that play-by-play one more time. Super quick. That is why this looked off to me. Where is it? These pinchy lines, basically where the end of the ribcage is, would connect back into that swoop. So this is where I messed up. Let's see. I'm gonna make this a little bit sharper of a turn so it starts to kind of kick in back here. That's where I got a little confused. And then the rest of this would just be pinchy. Why'd I do this all on one layer? I'm a monster. I must hate myself. I'm a masochist. Okay, pelvis would be there. Find that line. And then all of this, it might get a little internal oblique happening right there to pinch that back in. That feels better. Okay. I could probably embellish a little more swoopity on that S curve, but yeah, that feels a bit more realistic. It's definitely not perfect, but again, nothing ever is. I definitely really would like to see another person do this and see their approach, and we compare notes together, because I'm not sure on this one. I'm actually kind of confused myself. But, yeah, I think that makes more sense. Yeah, alrighty. Double curve town. You might see it on a really forced perspective like this, but see, now this bothers me. If I put that flank back in, yeah, let this curve a bit more sit up there. There you go. Put some more girth on that love handle. There we go. Get that curvature. That's what I was missing. There we go. It wasn't curving back in the right place. Okay. I wish I timed myself for this 2-minute adjustment, but anyway, that feels good. That feels better. That feels much, much better. Yay! Okay. Again, not perfect, but nothing ever is. I'll accept this for now. I'm gonna probably refine it for another 20 minutes after the stream ends, but for now, I could probably nitpick for a little longer, but nobody wants to sit through that. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me this lovely evening. And, you know, if you want to continue learning stuff with me, you are welcome to do the assignments with us or just watch. But you will grow the most if you do it. So until then, my friends, mwah, keep playing, keep loving, and keep dreaming. And I'll see you guys next week for part 3 out of 4 for the obliques. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for joining me.